Hi everyone, I'm Rachel Chamness at Soundwave Seal, and I'm really excited to be here today. Let me start the live in my group. If you're not in 5D Daily Spiritual Healers and Higher Dimensions, my Facebook group, I'd love to have you in there. It's for those who are advanced in their light work and those who are wanting to be. So that's my group, and I do give priority to workshopping and answers inside the group. So for all of you who are in my group, thank you for being there today. But I'm also live in other places as well, and you can still benefit. So today, I wanted to help you with your spiritual titles. So let's talk about this a little bit. What do I mean when I'm saying your spiritual titles? That's what we're working on today. This is your spiritual title workshop. So I'll just explain. So I was writing out like all the things. I have some notes here. I'm trying to find it. Here it is. I was writing out all the things that I was going to do in these lives for the next month or so for my VA so she could put them up for me. And I heard from my spirit guides. They were like, you should do your spiritual titles workshop. And I was like, well, okay, but I mean, I do some business coaching. I do, but mostly what I do is bring in spirit guides and higher dimensional beings, and I just channel them to get the answers. And of course, I know lots of good business things. I've been in business for a long time, and I do pretty well. So I do know lots of things, taken tons of courses and had sales coaches and all that stuff, So yeah, I know a lot of stuff. But basically, what I like to do is just bring in the experts, right? That's the thing I love about trance channeling. I don't have to have all the answers. I can just bring in who does. And if you guys don't have a relationship with Archangel Uriel, then I really, really recommend that you do. Archangel Uriel is the problem solver. He helps you find all solutions, and he is so helpful for your light work. And so I love to bring him in. I see all of you. Hi. I don't see anyone yet in Live in 5D though. We'll see. Okay, so maybe it's just not working, or it's not, I don't know. Hold on a second, let me check something. I don't know. Okay. Anyway, so anyway, Spirit insisted that I did this spiritual titles workshop. So what do you call yourself? I want to give priority to those in Live in 5D. So if you're in my, to those in 5D Daily. So if you're in 5D Daily, see if you can find the live. Usually if you just click on my face, it'll, it should show like live in Facebook, and you should be able to find it. Okay, so here's the thing about spiritual titles is that as a spiritual entrepreneur, this is like a whole thing, right? Like, I don't know, what do I call myself? Like, as you guys know, I call myself a shamanic channel and mentor. And that was a lot for me to accept from my spirit guides. They were telling me, you're doing shamanic work. This was like a while ago. And I was like, I mean, I know, but there's a whole stigma about using the word shamanic. Oh, there's lots of comments in 5D. Well, then Facebook sucks because I don't see them. I'll try to refresh. Or I'll just look at it a different way, I guess, if the Facebook thing's not working. Here it is. Oh, I see you. Okay, I just refreshed and I can see them all. Oh, hi, there's everybody. Okay, great. So, there's a whole thing about shamanic journeying and things like that. And of course, I do actually have shamanic training, but I believe that using the word shamanic is like using the word multidimensional. Even, there's a whole podcast on this, one of my first podcasts. So I won't go into that, but I'll just say it was hard for me to accept this. Like, okay, shamanic channel and mentor. And that's because sometimes as spiritual entrepreneurs, it's hard for us to just like even toot our own horn. We just want to help the people. Not all of us want to, sell our stuff. Like, it can be hard, all of that, like coming around to that. And we tend to be modest. So we're like, I don't know, do I call myself that? That sort of thing. Right. So, titles are a thing when you're a spiritual entrepreneur. So it can feel silly. It can feel arrogant to call ourselves what we do. But we need to have a title that helps people understand what to expect from us. Excuse me. And so your title needs to be significant. So it needs to be something that shows your skills or your main ability, or maybe your personality or your authority. Like, what is it? So like, okay, mine is shamanic channel and mentor. So what do I do? So the main thing that I do, first of all, I do tons of things. I help beginners, I help advanced, I help ultra advanced. I help people advance very quickly. That's like the main thing I do. I have psychic Reiki healing courses, I have light language courses, I have all kinds of courses, Fae certifications for healing, and I love to teach healers to channel and channelers to heal, and I love to put these things together. So I do all these things. So how in the world do I come up with what I do? And if I go ahead and say, hi, I'm Rachel Chamness. I am a liquid Reiki shamanic sound healer. I'm a Reiki master teacher in psychic Reiki healing. I am a master light language healer. I am a Munaki shamanic rites practitioner. I could just keep going and going and talk about all my titles you have checked out way before then, right? Can you even tell me what I do? You have no idea now. You're like, okay, you're a healer. So sometimes you have to kind of condense it. So shamanic is showing that, yes, I help people work in shamanic realms, not just channeling, but healing. Channel shows I'm a channel, I'm a medium. I know people, not everyone sees that as being a medium, or people think that being a medium is just talking to the dead. But I believe that being a medium and being a channel is the same thing. You're talking to those beyond the veil. So I'm a shamanic channel, and I'm a mentor. I've been helping people learn how to do all this stuff for years. I've helped hundreds of people, come into their psychic senses, come into all these connections with beings, and their healing, their channeling, their light language, all those things. So I've made it short. Now, it doesn't need to answer everything that you do, because all you want people to do is get an idea and to send them to find out more, right? So if you have something quirky in that, I love that. Like when people use the word mystic, I love that. Or like when people use a word that you're like, ooh, what does that mean? Let's go see. What is a shamanic channel? Let me go see. If you go to my about page, you'll learn more about me, right? So we just kind of need these little words that help us, that aren't too much, that don't like overwhelm our customers. So that would be my personal advice. However, we want to ask Uriel, right? Because Archangel Uriel is our problem solver. And so we can ask him anything. So I'd love for you to put in your titles or maybe your certifications or what you do in the comments. And let's see if we can workshop some of these. And if you have a question about it, then ask Uriel, and I'll come in and out with Uriel, and I'll see if I can answer some questions. So also, I'd love to know who here has certifications in Reiki, but what you really want to get to is what you do more than anything, what you wish to do more than anything, where you're going. Like I said, the main thing I do is I have this big program. It's my signature program, and I help Lightworkers trans-channel in high dimensions. I help them work in higher dimensions, help them use Reiki in higher dimensions, open up their psychic senses a lot more, and trans-channel in all different kinds of ways. Trans healing, and it's an internship, it's a whole thing. And so that's what I mainly do. So of course, shamanic mentor, shamanic channel, these are the most important things in there. And yeah, it doesn't say trans channeling, it doesn't say all those things, but it's so hard, right? So we have to just choose something. And sometimes it's good to get a channeled message on what to call yourself. That's what I did is, I work with my spirit guides all the time, and I help other people do that, either in my free spirit guide masterclass bundle to get to know me that you can get on my site, or in my tag trance class where I teach you to really get to know your main spirit guides and trans channel them, all that stuff, So that's where I got shamanic channel mentor, and that's when I started to use it. So I've also been all kinds of other things, Fae liaison, lightworker mentor, things like that. Yeah. So, if you help people, if you've helped 50 or 100 plus people with their skills, then maybe you're a guide or a mentor or a teacher or something like that. Are you an oracle? Are you a channel? Are you a medium, a mystic? Are you a Reiki healer? Are you a master? Are you a light language specialist? Do you guide other people to light language? Do you work only with the dragons? Do you work with the fae? Do you work with the angels? Do you work with goddesses? Do you work with all kinds of beings like me? Then that gets complicated. And if you're a healer, what does your session feel like? Are you clearing? Are you resetting? Is it emotional or shadow work? Are you problem solving? Are you up leveling to higher dimensions and frequencies and grids and things like that? Like I do, like what are you doing? What are you really doing here? You know, of course I clear and heal people, but when they come, they're really getting a lot of up leveling and advice from their spirit guides. So there's not always not a lot to write these things in, right? You can't just, here's the million things I do. People get overwhelmed. You need to come up with some little words that kind of give people an overview of what you're doing so that you can say it fast, okay? And then if you are, if you're a channel or a healer, what are your sessions focus on? Self-help, relationships, business, finding things like, up leveling, finding your light path. That's what, that's mainly where I'm going here. Ariana has a question. How many archangels are there? I grew up hearing there were 7. Oh my gosh. There's so many archangels, like hundreds. Seriously. Let's see some of these other comments before I bring in Uriel. Okay. Yeah, it's so hard. I wish there was a way to make it easy, says Shauna. Michelle says, that's where I get confused just for myself. And Money says, I call myself spiritual counselor, EFT, Reiki, light language channeling. Okay, so Money, yes, you do all these things, but what do they do for the person? Those are your techniques. But what is the person feeling? Where is the person going? I think when we call ourselves by all the certifications, it doesn't quite translate as much as like what that person's going to get from you in your title. And even that's not always possible. Like, I guess shamanic channel mentor people are going to get mentorship and channels from higher dimensions. So I guess maybe mine works. I'm not claiming my title is the best. There's probably some spiritual coach on here thinking, well, I know more than this. That's why we bring in Uriel. I don't have to know it all. I'm going to channel it. So how do they feel? Money, where do they go? How do you help them? How do you guide them? And then Shauna says, angelic channel angelic healing energy, Reiki 2, work with people to connect themselves deeply and work on inner healing shadow work, a bit of mediumship here and there. And Joelle says, Reiki master, light language channel, fan, elemental healer, and death doula. I get so confused trying to figure it all out. And then Money says, I want to add healing because, she's taking my tag trance class. She's doing great. She's doing amazing. You should follow her. She does some great channels. And then Jennifer says, I don't know what to call myself except my name. I haven't set anything up. I have people that know I can send healing, talk to spirit, and channel different things. I don't technically have any certification. Okay. Well, sometimes getting a certification, things like Reiki can help you like bring these things together. I like to help people take their certifications or their gifts and see how they come together. So if you're like, don't even know where to start, sometimes a mini session or a session can help. All right. Kirsta says this is helpful. Joel says, I just do what spirit says to do, right? And then Money says, I'm lost. Like, I don't blame you. Of course you feel lost. Like, it's so hard, right? All right. So Uriel, Ariana says, what can we call him? So Uriel works with, he stands in the north. If you're going to call in a spirit circle, you'd call Archangel Uriel into the north. He's like one of the top 4, or top 6. He's in there. He's a very well-known angel. He has a lot of gold light, ruby red light. If you ever do one of my meditations, you'll hear me talking about him in the sacred circle in the beginning. And you can learn how to do a sacred circle and all that stuff if you get my free Spirit Guide Masterclass bundle to get to know me, which is on my site under courses or something, but it's free. So he is really amazing. So we're going to bring him in and let's see what he can tell us about these spiritual titles, because I've already talked 18 minutes. I guess I know a little bit more than I thought I did. Okay, let's bring in Archangel Uriel. It is true that I may need an introduction here. I am a helper for problem solving. I am a realm connector for those of you who wish to work in other realms, such as the Fae realm and to connect with animals in the animal kingdom and other earthly realms such as inner earth. I am a helper here. Today you have called me forth to help you with problem solving, which is one of my main attributes that I help those on earth with. And so you're asking about spiritual titles. As you know, a name is just a name. It is not the important thing. The most important thing is your energy. And when you are speaking from the heart, and when you have a true desire to help others, it is, of course, also perfectly in line and in alignment with high energy to receive money for your offerings. And you should not shy away from this. Well, shoot. Oh my gosh. Okay, there's water like everywhere. Okay. That was a really good channel. It's getting there. Just give me one moment. And I will just get a napkin. Okay, I'll give you a little. Well, hold on just a second. I can't let it get to the computer, obviously, but it's not close to the computer. Okay, no big deal. One more second. All right. Okay, let me bring him back. All right. What was he saying? Your energy is the most important part. However, we see the importance of calling people to you, and spiritual titles is a way to do this. Therefore, can you think about what your main goal in a session is? It's to perhaps help a person see clearly the answer they are seeking if you are pulling cards or channeling. It is to help a person feel more aligned or clear in a higher vibration, feeling good if it's a healing session. It could be something more specific, something perhaps that you seek the answers they're looking for, that you help in all ways. And that's where it gets complicated. Sometimes you can use words that describe your personality, that describe a feeling that is attributed to you. And when you work on others and you hear their feedback of what it feels like to have a session from you, what they write to you and say, how they enjoyed it, and give you feedback, this is another place you will begin to see correlations that you can put together and brainstorm to bring more of that to eventually bring into a title. And though you may call this a workshop, it is only to begin thinking in this vein. It is not something that can be thought through in 20 minutes, but perhaps something to keep an eye on, to make tweaks here and there, change it here, change it there. We will give some words here to help. Are you a liaison for people and their angels or their spirit guides or their higher self? Higher self liaison. Are you a mentor, a teacher, a guide? Do you help people in their path? Life path guide. Are you helping people expand their life, expand their spirituality? Are you counseling people? Are you guiding them? We wish for you to think a little bit deeply on the outcome. Okay, this is Rachel. I was like, I think maybe we need specifics, right? So let's do some specifics. Okay, so Michelle and Ariana both say that Uriel is their go-to. So you just need to, yes, definitely channel it, Michelle. You knocked over a mop bucket, Joelle? Yeah. Like reflexes. I wish. I spilled like all my extra water on the floor. It's just sitting there on my wood floors, whatever. Okay. So, okay, so Glow says, I just say I'm a first generation bilingual bruja, Spanish for witch, in training, and those who like it do, and those who don't weed themselves out. There you go. Money says, I went from relationship coach to spiritual. So far, all the people I have helped have then gotten clarity, empowerment, and find their purpose. All right, let's see what Uriel says for money. Here are some ideas that can spark a brainstorming session for you, money, and that is relationship specialist or purposeful expansion counselor. I'm like, I don't really think that's great. It's okay. I guess he's saying go down this vein. Let's see. He had a really good one and then he changed it. Let's see. Before it came out of my mouth and I lost it. Let's see what he's let's see. For money. Sometimes you can use some words too to describe. Expand your daily joy. Ooh, money. This is Rachel. He's saying something like joyful expansion. And then there's a word for finder. You're supposed to find a word that means like you find it, like you bring it forth for them. But also they kind of want you to go down this role too. So that's part of it. He's not giving 100% of it all right now. He's giving you a place to go. So let's see. Soul life connections. Soul life connector. Vibrational matching. Okay, so these are interesting. Vibrational matching coach, vibrational matching counselor or guide, things like that. Okay, here's some ideas. This is harder than I thought, to be honest. I thought he was just going to be like blah, blah, blah. I know that happens in sessions, but maybe it's harder with so many people on. Okay, let's see. Okay, you like it. Okay, good. I feel that he gave me the let how to go. Thank you. Okay, Miriam, good. All right, let's see what else. What else can we do? Let's see. I know I saw okay, it won't let me go back. Okay. Joelle, I know, and you and Shauna wrote something good. Write it again so I can see it. Okay. Shauna says, I think I help people who are struggling to find their voice and connect to their true selves, lifting them out of depression so they can do the work to heal, plus clearing entities. So, higher truth connector, higher truth connections, life pathways. Okay, so he's giving me some of these things. I think it might be easier for me to channel instead of trans channel. Let's see. Let's see. Okay, so Shauna, they're saying, okay, so true self, finding your true path. There's something about the word truth, true selves, true path, soul path, that they would like you to work on there. Do you know what I mean? Like true path, clearing the way to your true path. Maybe that's your tagline, and then you take that and sort of, so if they're struggling to find their voice, connect to their true selves. He's just giving me ideas. I think this might be easier than transing him. Finding the light to your true path connector, things like that can help you. Okay, and then Joanne wants to channel past loved ones for people. They're actually saying something like rainbow bridge connections. And so they're saying for you, Joanne, not just about, and of course, this is why I don't teach past, channeling past life, channeling the dead to people who aren't master teachers, but you are a master teacher, which is great. So you want to also be able to clear them. So they're saying something like, beyond the veil connections, like maybe that's your title of your company, or beyond, like the veil connector, oracle and veil connector could be something like that. So you see, that's like a title that says, oh, does she channel the dead? Let me see what Joanne offers. So it kind of brings them in. Let's see. So, okay, Joelle, Reiki Master, Light Language Channel, Fae, and Elemental Healer, and Death Duel. I never know what's going to come through till I start. Okay, so, okay, Joelle, so what do you feel is the outcome of the session? It's healing, Death Doula too. So, connections. Give me a little bit more of what it's like to have a session with you, or what's the feedback you get the most? I think that might be easier. Maybe you need a word like he was saying that's sort of about you and your energy, or like what you feel like, or some quirky part of you, that you might use, And I see there's a lot of questions on YouTube that aren't really, that I talk about all the time, but not in this live so much. But, you can check out my podcast, 5D Channels and Chats with Rachel Chamness, Ariana, and I think you'll find a lot of answers there difference between channeling, trance channeling, things like that. I talk about all that stuff a whole lot. And I have a big blog too, as well at soundwavesheal.com. Hi, Monique. And yes, negative entities can pretend to be all kinds of things. So you have to be very skilled in what you do. So the answer to that question. Okay. My business team came up with monkey bars as a structure, says Michelle. I don't know what that means, but see, I'm so intrigued. I want to know more about that. All right, so Joelle says healing and releasing. So when you're clearing people, you're bringing in all types of beings, and you're in Tag Lightworkers. So I know you have tons of connections to all kinds of beings of light, because that's what the membership is all about, and you've been in it a while. So, okay, so you're bringing in all this different kinds of healing, from all kinds of beings, and you're releasing and healing. So when they are healing and releasing, they're feeling better. Their vibration is rising, feeling something about that coming through for you. You pull cards to get messages during sessions too. Okay. This is interesting. He's saying to go down the thought of this. So write this down, because I think this is not quite it, but outcome oracle. Just kind of interesting. Like, you want to put something about healing in there too, of course. Let's see what he's saying. Vibrational alignment, healer, and channel. Okay, that's one thing. Or you could use oracle, vibrational alignment, mentor, because in your sessions, you're also bringing them to this outcome of, like, you're bringing the messages, telling them how to get there. You're giving them the how-to, right? You're giving them messages from their guides, correct? So I'm feeling that a little bit. Write back what you think. Well, we can ask him some more questions. Okay, so now Mag says she's a Reiki master, rays of light transmissions, archangel Reiki, working with angels, goddesses, and gods, elemental powers, session aiming to address all imbalances, both emotional and psychic or physical, with the target of achieving mastership. Ooh, I keep losing it. And igniting their inner fire. I'm a healer, healing channeler, also space facilitator, bringing people together, waving Reiki. Oh God, it keeps moving. And sound and water healing. People tell me that my sessions give a miracle. The difference is like between night and day, so I'll always aim for powerful transformation. So if that's what you're doing, then miracle facilitator, channel, miracle facilitator and healing channel. These are things that Uriel is telling me, by the way. These are not coming from me. And they are a place to start. So a place to start. Write it down and go for where you go from there, because they're saying it's also a true understanding of what you're giving people. This exercise really important to help you as a spiritual leader, because it's really putting yourself in the client's shoes and seeing what they're expecting or what they're getting from you, and kind of weaving that into words. And by doing that, kind of helps you also, write posts and things like that helps bring people in. Okay, so this is a very unusual live, I know, but Spirit totally pushed me to do this. And look, if there's people here who want to start, I have a huge Black Friday beginners package, 50% off, and I have a wait list for it. If you want to get in early so that you can do it before the holiday. And so anyway, check that out in my link bio, or PM me, or look around on my site or get my email. Okay, actually, it's probably not on my site yet. It's probably more an email and post. Okay, so Miriam, Reiki, SRT, Akashic, hypnosis, light language, outcome, healing trauma, and reconnection with the higher self. For you, they're really saying, Miriam, or Uriel's saying peace. Peace is like a word that you should use. It's like either in your description or your titles, like a peace. Like, because you're bringing peace to these people. They're healing their trauma and reconnecting with their higher self. That's true peace, so peace facilitator, peace healing healer, something like that. I almost hear like the peaceful warrior even. Maybe that's for someone else. Let's see. Peaceful. And I'll also hear like peaceful connections. So they really want you to really think about it's the outcome. They want you to use the outcome of yours definitely in your titles, Miriam. Yeah, peace. It's like peaceful. I'm a peaceful life counselor, like our peaceful life coach, or a peaceful healing facilitator, or something like, it's like something like that. Peaceful healer. They want you to go down that line. Yeah. Hi, Monique. Oh, you don't know how to use your intuition or healer? Well, I'm happy to help. If you want to DM me later, check out my beginners package. I think it's probably something that could really help. But just send anyone who wants to learn about spirituality or expand, please reach out to me anytime. You can send me an email or a little note on my site, or whatever, on the back site. There's two sites, so, and the one that has the little thing on the corner, the little chat box, or you can send me a DM too. Okay. All right, so Miriam, you are a life coach as well. See, I think it's something like that. The peaceful, and I feel like you're supposed to use the peaceful life coach, or this peaceful coach bringing peace, there's something like that. Okay, so Ashley says, any guidance on names for spirit release or lost soul rescue, clearing attachments, thought forms, cords, and finding missing, lost, or souls that died abruptly to ensure. So that's another, I would say, they're showing me the word rainbow already, like. They're using words like death, release. Using the word release in general. Spirit release and spirit healer and releaser. That's not it quite, but something like that. They're sending to you. Like I'm saying they, but it's Uriel mainly, but I think Gabriel's here too. So um also yours might need the word warrior too, like peaceful warrior, or it's just a word that's been stuck in my head for 2 days from spirit, you know. Let's see. Okay. They're not giving me quite the word, so but they're giving me like ideas, like brainstorm. So I think that you're supposed to go down that like peaceful uh release warrior. Um or um auric release or auric, some word like auric field, like something like that, like there's something there for you. Okay, so Krista, I provide safe spaces for people, help others to heal themselves through energy work, and am connected to elementals. So, I believe safe spaces is really important, like in what you're talking about. Um, so I think the word peace comes up again, but maybe it's another word. Like you're going to do synonyms, look for some other words for safe space, or another word for peaceful. And I kind of get too that Uriel doesn't want to like say all the things in here, because some of these they want you to come up with and have it be a little unique because you thought of it. Oh, it's already 12:41. Okay, so let's see. So I'm going to have to wrap this up in a minute because I have a session, but let me see. Um, They like the word elemental fire for you, Krista. It's like something about like elemental fire. They're showing me like elemental like phase circles and like fire circles, like, from a fire, like something about that, and something about, yeah. Um, so you're facilitating energy healing. You're clearing and I'm hearing elemental Reiki something. I guess he's not going to give it all away. Oh, he wants you guys to work on it a little bit. Okay. Catherine, Reiki 2 and a lot of certificates. Not sure what to call myself. Catherine, we've already gotten, yeah, you're the angel guide. You're an isn't that what we did your titles in our last session? I think you need to stick with those. Those were definitely channeled just for you. And I really like it. Angel guide and messenger, I think, was yours. Yeah, messenger is another good one for Oracle. Empowerment, says Shauna Nicole. That energy of the world just feels like love to me. I love that. I think we should all be focusing on empowering our clients so much. So empowerment and empowerment coach or empowerment connector or something like that is what I'm hearing for you. I have to tell you guys that it's easier to do this one-on-one. This is what I do in sessions than it is in this workshop with so many people on. But I hope that helped. I hope you have somewhere to go, or some of these ideas sparked something in you. I like what he said about quirky too. Like if you have sort of quirky personality like I do, with Faye, like I used to call myself a Faye liaison. If you can be a liaison of like Miriam could be like a peace liaison, a higher self liaison. Um, you're so welcome. I hope that this was helpful and then just kind of brings you to it. Um, but I hope that all of this makes you think of it in a new way, because we really need to think about how we can use titles in a short way, shorter, at least as short as you can, not too many, because sometimes you're also like this, like, if I have to say, I'm Rachel Chamness, a shamanic channel and mentor, like that's probably not going to fit in most places. And if I go longer, it's definitely not going to fit, so you need to have it a little bit, especially if you're on podcasts and things like that, you have to think about that. So, Monique, I see your question. You need to heal from trauma. I always suggest that the first thing people do when they don't know what to do is just have a session. Have a session, spiritual session, to get directions step by step, to get help. That's what you need. I would start with a session. I could definitely help you with that. A few little angel questions here. Do the angels see me helping people in the future? If that's what you're feeling, I think so. Yeah. Are you connected to angels? I can definitely help you with that. That's part of my tag, Lightworkers, connecting to angels. Let's see if I can answer a few of these questions. Channeling. Okay, so there are all kinds of channeling. Relay channeling or regular channeling is when, what I was just doing, where I hear the answer and then I just tell you, Uriel saying this. Trance channeling is when I, like in the beginning, when I knocked over the water, like where they came through, he came through and he was talking through me. And maybe he knocked over the water because he thought also that it was easier to just channel him today. I do a lot of trance channeling and I help other people do it too. You don't need to show your gratitude to angels. You can just, there's nothing special you need to do like Faye. You can just say thank you. Just tell them thank you. All right. And yes, there are entities can pretend to be our loved ones past. It's happened to me before where an entity showed up in the session, but I was able to figure out that that couldn't possibly be her mother. I got rid of it and realized how it happened so that it wouldn't happen again. And then I brought in her mom and I just extended the session. So yes, you have to be able, when you work in these realms, you need to learn how to really understand discernment. And that's a big thing of what I teach is the way to find discernment. There's many, many ways to get there. So yeah. So if anyone has questions, definitely you want to, if you're ready to just like learn everything, Tag Lightworkers is the thing. If you're ready to just start on this journey, it's 50% off for a year of Tag, Reiki 1, and Light Language. This is going to really like expand your vibrations so high. And if you want to learn, take a very inexpensive little channeling course with me, meet an angel, and learn how to channel just a little bit. Or if you're advanced, you want a safe space to channel. This weekend, I have a spirit guide, spirit team channeling course. It's only $33 if you have the coupon inside my 5D Daily Facebook group, or it's $55. Still a great deal because I'm going to give you all kinds of tips and help you one-to-one. And I did end up, Spirit said I could add 3 more spots, and it's almost sold out. It is free for Tag, so go ahead and if you want to grab that, And if you ever have a question, you want to know things, send me a message. I may say that's a tune-in thing, so you need a session, but I can at least point you somewhere. It's always the first thing to do. You want to work with me is just start with a session. And that way we can get real step-by-step what you should do, what could help you. And I can just tell you what I have that could help you, and there's no pressure, and you just decide what you want to do. I'm not a pressure, like telling people what to do. I don't do that kind of stuff. If you are aligned with me, then I hope I'll see you in my stuff. If you don't feel the alignment enough to sign up for it, then okay, I wish you luck. It's no big deal, So thank you all for coming. I'm glad. Shauna says, Tag is so helpful as well. It's made a world of difference for me. Thank you, Shauna. Thank you all so much. I hope this was helpful, and I'll see you next week. Okay, see you then. Bye.